First top 10 matchup here in Memorial since January of 2021. And Kentucky controls the opening tip. They put it in the hands of Georgia Amor. Clara Strack over to Amelia Hassett, and Madison Booker comes out with the basketball. Booker inside to Taylor Jones. This post play is going to be big for Texas.
Look, that is signs of big trouble.
Kentucky is not a deep team. They usually play maybe 8 players, 7 usually, so they can't go very deep in their bench.
Well, Georgia Amor got into a little bit of foul trouble in that game against Ole Miss.
Kentucky just ran out of time. Texas's defense showing up.
The full court pressure, you're going to expect that from a Vic Schaefer team.
Here's the Texas starting 5. We told you about Madison Booker. Rory Harmon is their point guard, was injured last season. She's back. Taylor Jones getting her own rebound. Turning around in the paint. Tiani Key grabs it. He can take it coast to coast. Stopped by Jacqueline Mwinintanda.
Well, Kentucky's going to have to be opportunistic when they run. They know they want to beat that Texas defense down the floor, but they've got to take good shots.
And there's going to be an offensive foul on the screen. That'll go against Madison Booker.
For Texas, they can be a little more deliberate because they have such a powerful post game. But the thing he was concerned with, all 5 players for Kentucky, they can be a threat from the three-point line.
Oh, Taylor Jones, a little contact to the face, and they call that against Clara Strack. So already for Kentucky, Georgia Amor with 1 foul, Clara Strack with 1 foul.
Main thing you've got to do against the Longhorns is keep the ball out of that painted area.
Shea Holly, a rare 3-point attempt. Texas only hits about 3 threes per game. Deja Lawrence wide open for the triple. No.
Tiani Key.
The effort! She's battling right now with Taylor Jones inside. Madison Booker around Strack, misses, and the rebound by Key. Amor pushing. Pulls up. Well, Texas doesn't hit very many threes. Kentucky loves to shoot the 3 ball. They're second in the SEC in threes per game. They hit almost 9 a game. Jones step back switch.
And the energy from Minnetonka to crash and create that extra opportunity. That's what makes Texas so dangerous, and they were so good at that. Going to the glass against South Carolina.
Mwinintanda, number 32 in the burnt orange, has stepped into the starting lineup with Aaliyah Moore. They call her Amo, still unavailable. Did not make the trip. Hassett with the rebound. Kicks it to Lawrence. Yes! Kyla Oldacre has checked in for Texas, 0-0 in burnt orange.
5 offenses in a row at shoot around. Vic Schaefer worked on when he went to offense, and it was to get the ball right there, get it inside.
Kyla Oldacre's 13 points with 6 of 10 from the field against South Carolina on Sunday. Hassett misses under the basket. Booker setting things up. She stepped into the point guard role last year when Rory Harmon went down with a knee injury. Mwinintanda in trouble, back out to Harmon. Oldacre gets fouled. Looking for somebody to help her develop her game, and Vic Schaefer and his staff have a track record of developing post players.
You have a post player who says, I want you to work me out on this visit. Not only are you checking me out, I'm checking you out, because she wanted her game to grow.
And Coach Schaefer told us what he saw from that workout was that she had great mobility for a post player. He's like, I can work with that.
He said, what I love he said about her is that sometimes now he has to talk to her about not being so physical. Listen, you'd rather have a post player you got to pull back than have to push. That's sweet from Georgia Amor.
Right now it's Oldacre working down low, and Madison Booker for Texas. 3 seconds. Rory Harmon's got to take this shot off the iron and almost had her own rebound. Went out of bounds. Texas continues to bring that pressure.
Kentucky has the luxury of when a team presses them, you've got a player like Tiani Key, Clara Strack, post players who can handle it as well.
There's Tiani Key. She showed some physicality tonight.
Kentucky gapping the defense, taking away the penetration in this dribble drive.
When in time to offensive rebound, banks it in.
These two are going to battle all night long.
I love it. Georgia Amore goes flying, and the foul. It'll all start, too, with the College Game Day crew at 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Must-see TV, but I'm specifically interested in the Texas-LSU game. These are two teams that like to make their money in the paint. Who's going to win that battle? You've got the size of Texas going against Anissa Morrow. What a rebounding machine is she for the LSU Tigers.
Leads the nation in double-doubles, and great news, we'll be there for that game, Pack, so you can see it in person.
I cannot wait. That's going to be fun.
Oldacre with a couple more points.
You see the pressure of Texas.
Georgia Amore at the free throw line.
It's going to continue to go to Oldacre inside. Strack's already got one personal foul. Now Silva has the responsibility of protecting inside.
Rory Harmon on the bench with 2 fouls for Texas, so freshman Brianna Preston running the point. Wouldn't get the road bounce. Madison Booker, a fresh 20. Went in Tonda right to the rack. Georgia Amore creating. Pulls up at the SEC logo, makes it go. She's got 7. Holly dumps it off to Preston. Oldacre short on the putback. Gets a second look at it. One of 2 for Oldacre. 1.2 on the clock, and Kentucky will just hold it.
After 1, the score, Kentucky 14.
Yeah, on the season, Texas shoots 48% from the field. Georgia Amore, by the way, has had the last 5 points for Kentucky. She's got 7 to lead the Cats.
Well, and she has been able to find success in drives to the basket, not assisted with screens. When you bring screens, you can bring defensive help. She is so explosive with the basketball. You don't need that.
Right now guarded by Jordan Lee. Amore, little hop, step over. Remember, Rory Harmon on the bench for Texas with 2 fouls and a turnover.
This is a big possession for Kentucky right now. They've got to try to extend a lead with Roy Harmon on the bench.
Strack out to Tiani Key. She is a threat from 3. She's on another level right now. First lead for Kentucky, and her mom, Tammy Brown, is all about it. It's going to be the second on Clara Strack when he was at Virginia Tech, but
is coming to Kentucky because Tiani really liked Kentucky, but she wanted to stay close to home. When Kenny Brooks came to Lexington, said it was just a perfect fit.
Sanaya Tyler in transition.
She is flying everywhere Key is.
Tamari Key played at Tennessee.
Ready to establish the physicality with Oldacre inside. This is a small lineup for Kentucky.
So Tiani Key is going to have to take a seat with 2 fouls. Clara Silva checks in. Clara Strack on the bench for Kentucky with 2 fouls. For Texas, Rory Harmon has 2 fouls.
But when you have a player like Georgia Amore that can produce points, that's important. But Silva's got to finish. She's got to give the Wildcats something.
Oldacre, Preston found her. Katie Brooks changing the play from the sideline. 6 seconds. Georgia Amore over to Sanaya Tyler and a trap. Texas outscoring Kentucky in the paint 16-8. Booker, no.
Oh.
Madison Booker has not scored tonight.
Vic Schaefer has sat a lot in this game. Have you noticed that? He's normally pacing the sidelines, and he has just been very... Oh, he's getting up now.
But the jacket is still on.
Jacket is still on. He's had to sit a long time next to Rory Harmon.
She has 2 fouls. Madison Booker still out there with 2 fouls. Still looking for her first points of the night. Oldacre going right around Hassett. She's got 13 points.
When she gets 2 feet in the paint, you've got to readjust yourself.
6 seconds for the Wildcats. Amore shoots over 2 defenders, and a Kentucky team who's usually solid at shooting the 3 is 1 for 7.
Amore was 0 for 3 from 3 against Ole Miss. Kentucky is one of those teams. I think they're just so unpredictable, very dangerous. They all can score from the 3. Kentucky women, they need Georgia Amore to get going from the 3.
And she's 0 for 2. Booker up ahead to Lee. Preston shakes the defense.
Kentucky's got to find scoring. Normally Georgia Amore can do a little pick and pop action with Clara Strack, but not having her on the floor, it's been tough to find 2. Madison Booker, they worked a lot on these underneath out of bounds plays.
That was tipped by Georgia Amore on the inbound pass. Looking for the foul call, won't get it. Texas back the other way. Madison Booker lay up her first points tonight. 1 minute till the half.
Watch Amore, every time she gets the basketball, she's trying to find opportunities.
And that's going to be an offensive foul against Lexi Blue.
Her fitness has allowed her just to elevate so much higher this season.
And dropped 15 pounds from last season to this year. Now she's found it. You see one go in.
From the first loss to the second, putting up 20 points in that last meeting.
Had just 7 the first time around against South Carolina.
Hold for the last shot. Beat Madison Booker. I think a 2-man game.
Booker can take her time. Short corner, elevating. Woo! When you need a bucket, you let Book cook.
Well, Tiani Key and Clara Strack are back in the lineup. Now, I would expect Amore to find more to distribute.
Rory Harmon also back in the lineup on the Texas side. She picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter.
Kentucky in this box and 1. Hassett is following Booker all over the floor.
Saw them work on this today at shoot-around. Inside to Taylor Jones. And a rebound by Strack. Clara Strack did not even attempt a shot in the first half. She's their second leading scorer. The dump off to Tiani Key.
Claire Strack, one of the things Kenny Brooks talks about with her, number 13 in white, is how well she sees and passes the basketball.
Harmon misses. Taylor Jones with the rebound, up and in. Big picture-wise, right now, Charlie Cream has Texas as a number 1 seed. Kentucky would move to a 3 seed if they pick up a win over Texas today. Strack through the paint, and she's going to pick up her 3rd foul.
Drive to the basket. She should have looked to turn the corner. Strack is thinking purely pass on the offensive end for Kentucky. She's got to be a scoring threat.
Deja Lawrence had her shot blocked by Jordan Lee. Rory Harmon up ahead to Shea Holly. Inside to Taylor Jones. Some pretty ball movement there for Texas.
Well, Texas understand and get the ball down the floor. The post players are running in the middle of the floor.
And Kentucky runs out of time. Second time tonight that Texas has forced a 5-second violation.
Sprinting in the paint, not running to the block, but in the paint to get great position offensively.
Madison Booker, and Kentucky calls a timeout as Texas has its largest.
It became clear to him the family time he was missing during COVID, and his family was sitting around telling him about stories, and it's like, where was I? And they were like, well, you probably were recruiting. And so having his kids on staff and being able to play for him allows him to have more of that family time.
Taylor Jones, the feed for Rory. Booker takeaway.
And better defense by Strack there, not allowing Jones to get so deep.
And Strack's on the floor with 3 fouls, too. She's got to be careful. 3-point attempt from Shea Holly. It's the first make of the night for Texas from deep.
See, that's what I think of how she goes about her business and then gives back to the fans. You got to love that.
But she'll get the rebound here. How much do you think having to play the point guard last year helped her grow up quickly?
100% it helped her. It helped her to read the game, read it faster, understand why Vic Schaefer calls plays. Rory Harmon said she told Booker, there's a reason coach calls plays, and for a freshman to see that and understand that early in her career only helps.
Yeah, she took on that bigger role. Rory Harmon misses, but Taylor Jones fouled. LEXINGTON comes in. UConn and South Carolina and a Sonic blockbuster at 1, followed by Texas and LSU at the Moody Center. It all starts with the College Game Day crew, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN from Colonial Life Arena in Columbia. That's going to be a really fun Sunday.
It's going to be a battle in the paint. Yeah, Taylor Jones talking to her this morning. She talked about how she has become more of an aggressive player. She was pretty much a finesse post player. Now she is the aggressor inside. And the thing I felt was so funny, she said, you know, it hurts less when you do the hitting instead of waiting to get hit.
Yeah.
Look, she's battling inside with Tiana Gee.
2 of their top 3 scorers in some foul trouble.
I felt like
3, Strack with 4.
I felt like that was going to be a problem with as physical as the post game is for Texas. Could Strack do so without getting into foul trouble?
I mean, talk about physicality. All right, Madison Booker.
Madison Booker is such a well-rounded player.
Texas has forced Kentucky into 5 turnovers over the last 7 minutes.
I love to watch Texas team play defense. Contest every shot, pressure on the ball handler.
You don't have a choice if you're playing for Vic Schaefer. You have got to play some defense. Count it for Taylor Jones.
physicality to the game. She's got a nice face-up as well.
On herself with it being her last season, and her brother Tyler has been someone that she can talk to about that. He was a pitcher in college, and she says, I talk to him all the time about the mental side of being an athlete.
Well, you've got to allow yourself some grace, allow yourself to make some mistakes, but to continue to play through.
5 seconds. Lawrence elevates and is fouled by Jordan Lee. Lawrence misses the first. Syracuse hosts North Carolina at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Number 15, Kentucky, facing off against Texas at the Moody Center in Austin.
It's going to be a battle in the SEC. Tennessee, Auburn. Auburn has been playing fantastic basketball.
Kyla Oldacre, she had 13 points in the first half, has yet to score because Taylor Jones just took over in the paint for Texas.
When you look at the South Carolina teams that won national championships, Camila Cardoso, well, Texas has got that. They've got a great rotation with Kyla Oldacre, Taylor Jones.
Lawrence popping in the paint.
That's what Kentucky's got to do, and they've got to manufacture points quickly. The first good shot they get, they need to take it.
That's the first field goal in 5.5 minutes for Kentucky.
Get down where that restricted arc is, painted area. You've got to meet the post players at the free throw line. I think that Oldacre's going to just continue to get better and better through February and March. It's going to be key for the success of Texas.
Georgia Amor, it's been a minute since we called her name. Just her first field goal here in the second half. Booker stopped by Silva. Oldacre got it back, and she's got free throws.
Key is going to come in on the backside and try to help. Get your body in position to keep them out of the play. You may have to let the ball bounce on the floor, but you've got to try to keep eliminating the touches.
Two seconds. Hassett. They have almost outscored Kentucky's entire team.
That's a good start. That's Kentucky.
Much needed bucket from Amelia Hassett. Kentucky has dealt with some foul trouble tonight. Tiani Key and Clara Strack both on the floor with 4 fouls apiece, and Kentucky not a very deep team.
And Kentucky came out in a straight 2-3, no boxing one, and then getting out in transition.
Tiani Key!
Nice job of getting position. You got to anticipate her positioning now, trying to front the post. Oh, that's 5.
Yep.
And not slap down, especially when you have 4 fouls.
So Lexi Blue back in the game.
Tiani Key's going to have to play the middle of the zone. She's got foul trouble. She's got 4 as well. She's got to play disciplined to stay on the floor. Nobody has Amor.
Sends it to Lexi Blue in the corner.
Now can Tiani Key stay on the floor? She's got to play smart in the middle of this zone.
That's number 7 in white. Texas working it around. Jordan Lee shakes off the defender. Amor all the way in. And fouled.
Staying in attack mode in transition. Amor gets 2 and the bonus at the free throw line.
Kentucky has outscored Texas 10-0 to start the fourth quarter. Why changing the defenses?
Well, so that Texas doesn't get into a rhythm. And so that last time out, Vic Schaefer talked about how to attack the zone.
Get to the middle of the floor like Lori Harmon just did.
Well, Texas had relied a steady diet of getting to the post. Guards have got to get pieces of the paint as well.
Pass it too much.
Not let anybody post up across your face.
7 seconds. Fresh 20 for Texas.
17 and 18 offensive rebounds for the Longhorns.
Booker up and in. She's got 13. $16 turnovers for the Wildcats.
Texas has just done a nice job of reading those cross-court passes.
Either side, it doesn't matter for Madison Booker.
You see how the pressure of Kentucky just keeping, or pressure of Texas keeping Kentucky on the perimeter.
Jump ball and the possession arrow is going to Texas.
Got defense on their minds. That one's going to be a fun one. The depth that they have, the input that they have gotten from Jordan Lee, I think the freshman number 7, has given Texas some good minutes.
Yeah, Vic Schaefer has talked a lot about toughness since that loss to South Carolina. He told us today we got out-toughed in that game. And since then, Texas has turned the page on that. And you asked him, what is tough? How do you define that?
And I think that toughness is, it's not just physical.
You can't compete at Texas without being tough. Just not allowed.
And that's true. We've been at practices, and if practice goes for 2.5 hours, an hour of it's probably offense, an hour and a half is on the defensive end. My question was, would Texas have a hangover from that big victory against South Carolina? I don't see any sign of that. They've done a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball. Only 9 turnovers, the depth that they have, because you're going to have that, get that post position inside. I'm going to be interested to see how the post game of Texas, how do they keep Anissa Morrow off the glass? Everybody's tried to do it. No one has been successful.
Everybody comes in with a plan, and then she happens.
And talk about toughness. That woman she's tough. She's tiger tough.
First in the nation in rebounds per game. First in the nation in double-doubles is Anissa Morrow. But for the first time this season, Kentucky will lose at home. And Texas, coming into Memorial Coliseum, it's the victory on the road.